Hello and welcome to HanaMade. So I held a little workshop for kids to make bookmarks like these, and those are the samples that I made, and I just want to quickly take you through it. Maybe some of you will be interested. So first I start with supplies that I used, and then I will show you how I made the bookmarks. I will probably speed it up. So this is one example. I do love using pre-owned materials or materials that were used for something else. So these are different samples of the card stock you can use as a base. I had file folders, I had different cards, I had different card stock. So thicker the paper, the better. And index cards actually are pretty cool too, or you can recycle old cards. And then I have scrapbooking paper. So this is a softer paper, right? That's thinner. And then I had different leftovers of paper materials from scrapbooking, card baking, junk journaling. I always have a few boxes that I basically dump what I'm not going to use at the time, and for project like this they are super helpful. Then I have oil pastels that make fantastic edging, so obviously for Valentine I will pick purples and reds and pinks. Then I am using some paint as well for extra kind of embellishing little touches. And then my favorite is definitely stamping and stenciling. Those techniques always add lots of charm to different projects and especially bookmark. Then I use hole punchers, scissors, glues. You can use decorative hole punchers, and I also have stash of big hole punchers that do flowers, stars, even birds. The tool on the right side is a cutter. Then I have some yarn that I'm going to make tassels, and for that, of course, you can use ribbons and other materials. So I will show you how I made those three samples. I will speed it up at least a little tiny bit. I don't think I'm sharing anything too original or something you may not know or be able to figure out, but I do hope I can inspire some people. So I have a good stash of paper from my scrapbooking days, and I'm definitely using them over and over, and I love them. For the base, I am picking the cardstock from the files. And then you have option to use different glues. Because I'm doing this with kids, I opted for a glue stick. I dislike the plastic and the small amount of glue that's in it, but it works well. So when you're gluing something, you have two options. Either you put the glue on the base, or you put it on the material you're sticking it on. So I do prefer to glue the area where I'm going to adhere the pieces of paper. I go make it the area that it's going to be sticky. I make it a little bigger, and then I put the paper on the top. And as you can see, because I'm layering, even if I have extra blob of glue, it doesn't really matter. That said, if I was doing this on my own and I had time for drying up in between, I would use liquid glue or Mod Podge. So I attached everything. I glued somewhat papers that I think will go well together, and then I wrap the um, oil pastel on the edges to give it kind of funky old-fashioned look. And now I am sticking my head in front of my camera apparently, and I am doing embossing, right? And then stenciling, sorry. And then I put extra stamp on it. I do feel that stamps are fantastic. They look somewhat professional, old-fashioned, cool, and they add a lot to any project. So stamps are not as expensive anymore, or you can get your hands on them for very reasonable priced used ones. I like to take good care of my stamps, so I have stamping pad, and on the left side you see kind of black box. That is actually for cleaning stamps. It's sort of plastic brush that you just wipe off the excess on the stamp on it. Um, when it comes to stamping, I do for different projects prefer to use StazOn, which is ink, like permanent ink basically. And then when I go back to the explaining you instructions for the bookmarks, I stick my head in again, and then I attach the tassel to the end. So I use hole puncher and punch the hole. I have one, by the way, with the shape of little heart, which is kind of cute. and then I attach the tassel. When it comes to tassels, you can use ribbons, string, even a little bit of beads and chains. So now I'm doing project number 2. I'm just using cardstock heart as the base. I am rubbing the pastel all the way around it. By the way, I really put myself on the spot with this. I had only half an hour before I did the workshop. And I just did it quickly without thinking much of it. I do feel that don't let anybody intimidate you. Don't let yourself intimidate yourself and just dive for it. Have fun with it, because most of the time you are doing it for yourself, or you are doing better job than somebody who doesn't do anything. And if there is somebody who does amazing job but would dare to criticize you, then they are not cool people in my mind. Anyhow, have fun with this, use your imagination, use materials that you have, and enjoy yourself. I am 100% sure that whoever you give it to, they will be very happy and pleased. When it comes to kids, this is really fantastic project because it kind of makes kids creative, makes them to make gifts that are pretty and practical. And I think it also encourages reading. If you have a nice bookmark that you enjoy in your book, it makes you happier, or at least that's how it works with me. The one thing to consider when you are making bookmarks is you don't want to put on any material that can rub on. So one of my little frugal secrets for creating edged look in junk journals is to use old makeup. However, it will rub on a little tiny bit. I don't mind it in junk journal, but I wouldn't want to make pages in my book dirty, right? So consider that whatever you are doing, attaching to the bookmark itself, should not damage the book itself. I think that's pretty straightforward. So this is the last one I made. I had fun. I enjoyed it. Those are the 3 samples. Just enjoy yourself, use what you have, and if you like my ideas, you can follow me on Facebook group or Instagram. Thank you for watching, and I made